What's up, Capricorn? And thank you guys so much for tuning in. Alright, guys, so let's get into your October readings and see what's going on with you guys for the month. Okay, now this will be for October 2018 for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. So let's see what will show up for you guys. But the one thing I have noticed is that so far for every sign, this has been a very, very powerful month in regards to life transformations, huge shifts, releasing energies that weren't, compatible with you or your lifestyle anymore. So let's see what comes out. I'm curious to see how this change is affecting you guys. Okay, what is going on with the sign? The Sun card popped out, among others, but let's keep shuffling. The Sun card is something that's bright, something that's abundant, something that may come to light. Okay, so let's see what's up. Alright, so we have past, present, there's that Sun card again, future. Okay, so beautiful. The energy that we have here is the King of Pentacles, guys. So regardless of anything that you're going through, this could definitely be a month where you are feeling powerful, you are feeling good, that you feel stable, like you have control of your life, you know the direction that you're going in, you seem very trustworthy, people look at you in a way where you're kind of like on a pedestal, but not in like a way that makes you anxious, a way that you're just like, yeah, I got this. It could also be wealth, prosperity, good money coming in, okay? Now we have the Devil card behind that. Sometimes that could be a bad thing, but since this card is, correlated to your sign, okay, it could just be that you're kind of coming more into yourself. Now, if it's not just you coming into yourself with that Devil card, and I know it's hard because just to associate Devil and Capricorn, sometimes people take it very offensively, but it's just a card that represents the sign of Capricorn, okay? Because I remember somebody told me off, and they're like, you're such an asshole, we're not the devil, and I'm just like, oh my god, learn about tarot. Anyways, so this could be a situation where maybe you had something in your life that maybe you overdid it, maybe there was too much of it, but something that could have had a negative impact on you, okay, that might still need some release, but you're still powerful through it. So let's see what's going on. Another thing I see here, before I get into the reading, is there could be something that you might have to be kind of a hard ass when it comes to cutting it off, but you're going to cut it off, okay? So maybe you need kind of like that little devil on your shoulder to kind of lash out. Sometimes we're too nice to people. Sometimes we let people get away with too much, and this could be you kind of coming out of your, mouth and just saying, listen, what the fuck are you up to? Okay, it's time for me to make a change. So going into the past, guys, the first card that we have here is the Nine of Wands in the reverse. Giving up on a situation that just has too much adversity, too much stress caused here, too much anxiety caused here. And you put a lot of thought into this, and you knew it was something that you had to move on from with that Four of Swords in the reverse. Okay, and it could have been very difficult. For a lot of you, it could have been something that was very disappointing. I just said difficult, but something very disappointing, something that was heartbreaking. Maybe you were around somebody that was either a player or somebody that were really just in their heads. They felt like they had a lot of authority, okay, over you, or maybe something that you were involved in, and they kind of took that power to the head, okay? And it's just something that, they, or maybe even you, maybe you took on that energy, but that's kind of like an unbearable energy to deal with, okay? A very strong energy. The next card we have for your past is the Page of Swords. Could have been a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini that you were dealing with. But with the Page of Swords, this is speaking in a very clear and honest way. Saying what's on your mind, but doing it with intellect, not just, having this verbal vomit. You're thinking about what you're saying, and you sound intelligent when you say it, okay? That's the best way to speak, in my opinion. Alright, and you have the Three of Pentacles. So there's something that is being built here, okay, where you are appreciated, where things are working for you, where you're just able to expand on something. Alright, and we have the King of Wands in the reverse. So with the King of Wands in the reverse, maybe, you're having that conversation with someone that, look, there's certain things that need to be cut out if we're going to continue this. Maybe you're not fully ready to let something go, but whether you are on board with letting this go or not, I feel like at this point it was out of your control. So maybe you're just having to speak your mind on this at this point. And whether it's you that's building or somebody else that's trying to build this, I really just feel like it's something that got out of control, where you kept trying and trying, or again, maybe somebody else kept trying, but you didn't get the intended result. But guys, whatever this was, you have the Temperance card in the reverse and the Six of Swords in the reverse, telling me, one, it was difficult for you guys to move away from. Two, your soul didn't want it. Okay, so that's something that we really have to listen to. There's so many times where we, just as humans and just with the egos that we have, we want a certain person or we want a certain job, and it's just not meant for us. So even if we get it and we have this surface of happiness, our souls are crying. Our souls want us to release it. Okay, so that's what I feel this was. And you guys have the Justice card. Okay, so I'm definitely feeling like this is something karmic. All right, maybe you did something bad in the past, it's kind of coming back to you. Maybe it's vice versa. Maybe this is you dealing with, you know, a past life soulmate or acquaintance where you guys just had to teach each other a certain lesson again in this lifetime. And you have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, so you're fed the fuck up. Okay, no better way to say it. This is somebody that has put their heart and soul into something, and they've really tended to something, and now they get petty and bitter, but they have every right to, because they put so much and they got nothing. Okay, or not what they expected to get. This could also be for some of you overspending, okay, and maybe not being able to cover everything you need right away if it was overspending. But whatever this is here, guys, there's an imbalance here for sure. Okay, we have the Hermit card in the reverse. So with this Hermit card in the reverse, one, you could be coming out of a place of limbo, or two, it's like you're moving forward with something, but you haven't done all your research. Okay, the easiest way to describe this card is, say you have some sort of test coming up. They say, look, you need to read chapters 2 to 7. You read chapters 2 to 4, and then you go and take the test. You're not prepared. Okay, so just jumping into something, not having all the facts, or coming out of a place of limbo or solitude. Okay, in the present moment, we have the Four of Wands in the reverse. Instability as you transition into a new part in your life. Okay, why is this Four of Wands here in the reverse? Four of Cups in the reverse. So some sort of offer that's accepted, whether you gave the offer or someone else gave it to you and you accepted it, but still a sense of instability that you feel because of the loss that is still on your mind. At this point, you guys are crying, you know, over spilled milk. It's something that you may not, you know, have any control over anymore, but it's like you're kind of focusing on this. And not that it's bad to be sad, of course. When we lose certain things, or when things don't work out, or they don't go our way, you know, it's normal to feel a loss. But in this case, you want to make sure that you're not putting too much emphasis on what didn't work out. You have to look at your situation and say, okay, this happened, but what do I still have going for myself? Where can I improve in my life? You know, where can I still grow and expand? And here's the center of your reading. This is what every card ties into. You have the Sun card. That's a very powerful thing. Now, for those who aren't that, you know, into tarot or the meanings of tarot, when you have a major arcana that comes out, it's going to be a situation that sometimes you don't necessarily have control over it, okay? But it's going to be a huge pillar in your life. It's going to be a huge, you know, path that you have to cross in your life, that it's inevitable, okay? So it's showing that even if something didn't work out, it's bringing blessings into your life. So you really want to keep that in mind as you process what you're going through. Don't beat yourself up if there's something beautiful behind the door you just, or not behind the door you just closed, but behind the door that you have yet to open. Okay, so there's definitely something powerful that's coming in for you that could not have come from this past situation. So keep that in itself in mind. Okay, another thing that, you know, major arcanas can mean, just to give you guys some extra, you know, info here, is either something that is inevitable that's meant to happen in your life, or if there's something that you're trying to put forward in life. Let's say you're trying to start a new business, or you're trying to run a marathon, or create a new song, whatever it is you're trying to put out. It's showing that the universe will not get in your way. The universe will take care of you. The universe has your back on this. So either way, guys, whether this is bringing in a blessing, or whether there's something that you've been struggling to put out, you have this blessing coming in. Something will work in your favor, okay? Why is the Sun card here? King of Pentacles. Y'all are on it, okay? There's so much power coming in. There could be wealth coming in. There's stability coming in. I look at the King of Pentacles as like, you know, whether you're male or female, because I feel like with these cards, I don't like to look at the gender. I like to look at the power of each card. So if I pull a King of Pentacles, whether you're male or female, I'll say you are within your highest power right now. Okay, so when I see the King of Pentacles, I think of like that parent that everybody loves. You know, that parent that everybody always wants to go to their house. It's like, yo, Tim, you have the coolest fucking mom. She's amazing. And it's just someone that everyone loves and everyone can vibe with. Okay, so let's see what this is about. We have the Seven of Swords in the reverse, which is very, very interesting. Okay, I see two situations here. Okay, and since there's thousands of you, I'm going to tell you both. So in one situation, because this could be, well, this is a card about secrets coming out, secrets coming to light, and usually it's, you know, tied to, well, usually it has like a bad connotation where you're just looking at it and you're saying, okay, something bad is coming out, secrets are coming out, I'm about to get hurt. Okay, this could also be someone getting engaged. Obviously, they didn't know they were going to get engaged. It was a surprise. So that's the secret that's coming out. Just something that comes to light that maybe you didn't know, or maybe somebody else didn't know. So this could be something that's very good for you. On the other hand, if it is going in a negative way and you find out something that could kind of disrupt your, you know, your peace for a moment, it's something here that brings you power. So either way, you guys are good. Okay. Last card here for the present moment, Seven of Cups in the reverse. You see a situation for what it is. If there's any confusion, any illusions, not knowing what path you want to take, not knowing who you want to go towards or what job you want to take, this is everything being put out on the table. So now the decision is much easier. All right, you see everything for what it is. Or maybe if you were kind of like in denial about something, you have irrefutable proof, or, you know, you have to make a choice now. With the Seven of Wands, you know, you guys are really going to stand your ground with the choice that you're making here. And you're going to be very resilient. You have the Nine of Cups, okay? So you're really, really happy with this, all right? And you have the High Priestess, guys. This is beautiful because, excuse me, not only are you very, very happy with something that's developing in your life, but it's like you have this assurance within the core of you that something's going to go the right way. You know, when I see the High Priestess, that's somebody who's very intuitive, that they know right from wrong in a situation. And it's also someone who has come into their power, okay, that they feel confident that something could happen. So, you know, maybe it was a bad situation where now you're looking at it in retrospect and you're just like, you know what? That was actually the best thing that could have happened, okay? Moving forward, guys, into the future, we have the Queen of Swords in the reverse as your first card. For some of you, could be a Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. For others of you, maybe you're taking on this energy, or someone around you is taking on this energy. But the Queen of Swords in the reverse is somebody that is scorned or that has gone through a lot. But when they're in the reverse, they're like on some next level petty shit. Okay, this is somebody who has a super bad day and they're driving on the highway and one of the you know, their tires gets popped somehow, and out of anger, after they pull over, they pop the other three, and it's like, you know, you only had one problem, now you have four, right? So it's just somebody that could kind of like black out, maybe not think in the moment, and kind of make a situation bigger than what it is. Okay, and you know, the key factor about this is that the person that is coming from is usually a very intelligent person, but something's happening where they're just not thinking before they act. Okay, or maybe you guys get pushed to a certain point where you kind of have to go in on somebody, you have to go off on them. You have the Two of Pentacles, so this is something that you're trying to find balance in. All right, and you have the Two of Swords as well, so there's definitely this tough decision. There's this duality here. For a lot of you, maybe there's a fire sign involved, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. This could also be something that you were very passionate about, because the Knight of Wands is somebody that brings passion and moves forward with purpose. For those of you, you know, if this is a fire sign, For this reading specifically, if everything has related to your life up till now, I don't see it being a good move for you, to be honest. Okay, I see it being bad judgment. I see, with the Fool card in the reverse, that basically means if you continue down a certain path that you're on, you're going to hit a lot of roadblocks. The universe is not in accordance to what you may want to do, and there's going to be consequences. All right, so for some of you, if it's a fire sign, don't see it happening. For others of you, maybe there's a huge change in something that you're passionate about where you realize you have to take a different path. All right, but I don't see it as something that disrupts you for too long. It might be a moment of discomfort, because with the Five of Pentacles in the reverse, any sort of loss that you felt, any sort of sadness that you felt, if you felt rejected, or if you had to reject someone else, or if you were having money problems, all of that, turns around, and you guys are able to breathe, and you're starting to see the light of day. We have the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So at this point, you're getting over a situation and you're not moving forward, either with that situation or just in general, you're not moving towards anything that's not going to make sense. That's not going to be realistically feasible for you. Okay, so I like the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, because this is somebody that, they're not going to move forward unless they truly do their research on something and they find it to be a good thing. All right, so there's going to be a moment after this occurs that you feel kind of lost. And that's why it's so smart to kind of take a step back. Okay, if you're in a situation where you have to make a choice or a decision, but you don't know what you want, I always think that's the best. So just take a step back, think about it, meditate on it, take a day or two, and then choose how you want to move forward. But you end here. Complete, utter happiness. When it comes to happiness in tarot, this is the ultimate card of happiness. This is the highest level of happiness. Three of Cups, something that comes in that you're really, really celebrating. Okay, or maybe you're having a get-together, or you have your good friends over. You have the World card in the reverse, so you become very, very happy with something that you're dealing with. But at the same time, there's something that still needs to be closed out from your past that you haven't fully done. But once you do it, guys, something amazing will happen. And you have the Queen of Wands, so it could be a fire sign, Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Honestly, for those of you who are in a relationship with this person, that could be something that ends for you. Okay, because I definitely see an ending where you guys have to emancipate yourself from something. Okay, it was just causing too much conflict. There was things that maybe you didn't know or someone else didn't know. I keep seeing a very strong water energy wanting to come in for you, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. So this could be a business partner that could be good for you, a lover that could be good for you, a friend that's kind of just going to understand you and complete you, and you'll be self-sufficient around this energy. So whoever this is, they're going to give you a very good power at this time. All right, even if it's just, a water sign that you need to reach out to kind of replenish yourself in a bit. Okay, I always say that when we're looking at the elements with signs, there's always certain signs that are very good with certain things. Like if you're going through something rough and you need stability, I'll tell you guys, go towards an earth sign. You guys know that. You guys know that when you're very loyal to a friend, or it's someone that you truly fuck with, you're gonna hold them down. You're gonna tell them things that they need to hear to make them feel better. Okay, and the way I see water energies, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, it's kind of like, I don't know if you guys have ever just had a terrible day and then you go and you sit by the water and it's just so restorative. It's kind of like just taking your emotions and just replenishing you. All right, and I feel like if you know a solid water sign, this would be an awesome time to reach out to them, or maybe they're coming into your life, but it'll be definitely a very good change. Okay, all right, Capricorn, so let's see what your card of guidance is going to be for this month. Okay. All right, guys, so let's look at your energy first. For anyone into numerology, it is number 41. Okay, this is what it looks like. Let's see what 41 entails. And this is, I forgot to tell you guys, a deck, Oracle of Visions by Ciro Marchetti. Okay. identity, self-analysis, knowing oneself. This card represents, presents an image of self-examination. The answer to who we are can have multiple answers, and these answers may change with time and circumstances. We wear our various masks to falsely reflect or truthfully portray the myriad versions of what we are or can be. The danger is that on some occasions we are not in control. Outside influences can provoke emotional states. It is then at our vulnerable moments that the masks choose us. Alright, so you guys definitely, I feel, went through a situation where you kind of just had to stop and you're just like, oh my God, what the hell is going on? How do I move forward? How has my life gotten to this? So there's really just going to be that moment where you look in the mirror and you realize that something has to change. Alright, so I really feel like this is going to be a huge pivot for you guys. With the card that fell out, this is number 23. Very beautiful image. Let's see what this is about. Okay. Providing shelter. Our relationship with the natural world is at its lowest ebb, and as humans, we are becoming increasingly detached. Our physical lives may have been made more comfortable by our technical advances, but our spiritual lives may be diminished. Despite their overall trend, there is hope in that we are at least aware of our damaging imprint and an increasing acknowledgement and desire to redress the imbalances. So guys, these cards go hand in hand. Alright, you're at a place where you know there's shit that needs to change. There's, different choices that have to be made. You have to have a different route or a different way that you're going in life. Okay, so the biggest thing is going to be you guys taking a step back from all the chaos and being realistic with yourself. Okay, if you feel like you've been in repeating habits, or if you feel like you keep going through similar shitty situations, you have to realize that if something continues to keep happening, or if things aren't working out and you've really tried to make it happen, you are the common denominator of all of this. Okay, so you have to look at how you were approaching things in the past versus what you should do from this point on. Okay, and for you guys in general, Capricorns, you guys are the most giving sign ever. I have a friend that I grew up with that she could have the flu and she's still going to go into work, and I'm just like, what is wrong with you? That her loyalty to what's important to her is so strong. Okay, and that's how I feel all of you are. But there's going to be certain times where your loyalty to something that you truly want can kind of work against you, because you're willing to put in all this effort, but for what? Okay, so whether it's a job or a person or just something that you're going through with a family member or a friend, whatever this is, you really have to get to the core of things of why this was even attracted into your life. And how can you change things so that you're not attracting those same sorts of situations? Okay, so something amazing is coming in for sure. But it's not going to happen without this reassessment in your life. Okay, so you guys have hit a point where this isn't just going to be like, okay, well, I didn't, I ate like shit last week, let me eat just straight apples this week. I don't think it's going to be something that's that simple, and I don't suggest just eating apples for the week. But I don't think it's something that's that simple. I think that this is really going to be something that just clicks within you, that you're like, damn, I can't have this. This has to work out differently. And you're going to get pushed to make, maybe some hard choices, but some necessary choices. All right, from this point on, who is still going to ride with you? Who are you still going to be friends with? Who are you still going to be in loving relationships with? Is it something that's feeding your energy? Okay? Or is it something that's being a vampire to your energy? And the best way to determine that is to, again, take that step back and look at a person or look at a job and say, like, okay, in totality, with everything that I have gone through in this situation, has it been more bad or more good? Okay? If it's smack in the middle, you got to let that shit go. Even if it's like 60% good and 40% bad, that's still a bad number, guys. All right, so you have to be honest. You have to be with something that most of the time, it will give you that good push. Okay, I know that there's going to be times where we argue with friends or loved ones. That's normal. We have to get through that. And those, relationships that you have like that, that's what strengthens it. When you're able to kind of do things out or have that, argument, but you get past it. But here you have to be realistic. Is this an argument that, I can get past and will be good? Or is this something that's going to screw up my life? Okay, because y'all don't have time for that. Okay, we should not give anybody else or any other situation that sort of power. If you are at a job that's not working for you, leave. Apply for something else. Okay, you don't have to be rooted. If it's a person that's not working for you and maybe you've been afraid to let them go or just to walk away, understand that you are delaying your pain. Okay, and every single day you stay with them is another day of pain that you have to go through, as opposed to just, ripping off that band-aid, maybe being in pain for a month or two. For some of others of you, if it's something super serious, maybe it'll take a year. But would you rather be in pain for that year or the rest of your life? All right, so you really, at this point, have to look out for your future self. All right, stop thinking about what's going to make you feel good right now and what's going to satisfy that feeling that we have in our minds right now. What's going to set you up to be in a good place in the next 5 years? Okay, what decisions that, can you make now to really get your shit together? Because we tend to think that, oh, if I do this today, it's not really going to affect me. Okay, me personally, when I kind of escaped from my parents and was living on my own, I just didn't know what to do with my freedom. So I was drinking so much, and it wasn't on some like alcoholic shit, but it's just like, I love tequila. And it got to a point where everyone's like, yo, like your tolerance for tequila is really high. Like, I've never seen a woman drink tequila like you. And I'm like, yeah, it's not a big deal. Take my shot here, take my shot there. It helps me go to sleep. But then I realized, I'm like, yo, those nights where I was kind of using that to help me fall asleep, I could have been reading. I could have been working on a website or, building business. And you don't, it doesn't seem like it's destructive at the moment, because it's like, what am I going to lose if I take 3 shots right now? But when you look at it as a long term, if every day is like that, or if you're spending 3 or 4 days out the week like that, that's a lot of time. You're losing a lot. And that's kind of what I thought about. And I'm like, shit, I need to get on my shit. Okay, I was proud of being the tequila champion, but that's not really something to be proud of when I'm trying to really become a powerful woman. So you really have to tell yourself, even if it seems harmless, is it? Is it truly harmless? Okay, so a lot to think about here, guys. And I'm really surprised that things came out like this, because every day on my Instagram, I'm always doing a daily energy. Okay, and I've been surprised with how it's resonated, not only with me, but just with a lot of you that are following and watching it. So if you guys want to check that out, it's High Vibrations 44 on Instagram. But yeah, that's what it spoke about. It's basically saying that there is something that you were trying to put a lot of effort into, and it just wasn't working out. But kind of being at the place where you're not in huge pain over it, where you're starting to see that light at the end of the tunnel, but something had to give. Okay, now for anybody who's interested in a personal reading, and I always do this at the end of all my readings, guys, because I always want people to be up to date with me. Now, please completely hear me out before you purchase a reading, if that is something that you choose to do. The standard wait time for readings right now is anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, so if you can wait that time, perfect. If anything changes within your reading, just email me and I'll apply it to the reading, when I finally get to it. So that's 1. 2, if you guys have something that's very, very pressing, where you need to get a hold of me quickly, I offer not only emergency readings, but there's this option on my page called a quick question. All right, so it's $10. You guys can ask any question that your heart desires, okay, and I'll give you an answer. You'll get a recorded video just like this one, 2 to 3 minutes. But the emergency readings, you get those within about 2 to 3 days, okay? Other than that, I'm on an app called Instant Go. This is honestly the fastest way to hear from me, because not only is it easiest on my part, but the people who created Instant Gold, they clock me on how long it takes to respond to people. So I like to keep the time very, very low. Although their system is a little behind, so if it says it takes me 48 hours to respond, it'll probably be like 4 or 5 hours, but I try to keep that number very, very low, okay guys? So on that, you just ask me whatever your heart desires, and depending on how many questions, I'll send you an invoice. It's the same as my website, where it's $10 per question. And the reason why it's so much quicker is because I don't have to make a video, I don't have to get presentable for you, and I'll just straight out write you an answer, so it's just like we're texting each other, okay? Now guys, for anybody that wants to do a Skype reading, a phone reading, anything where you're talking to me live, it has to be at least an hour or longer reading. Only because I find that when you're talking to someone, there's so much that could come up. So I used to do it for like the 10-minute readings and the smaller readings, but I found that I'd be on the phone with these people for like 20-30 minutes, and I don't have the heart to hang up. So it was just very, very unproductive for me, and I wasn't getting to as many clients, and you know, monetarily it was just a bad move. So that is why I do it like that, for anyone who's interested. But other than that, guys, I love you. I will be out with your mid-months and your love readings for this month. Thank you guys for being patient. I just had some personal stuff to deal with, so I wasn't getting these out as fast as possible, but my peace is very important, and I have my peace now. Okay? I love y'all. Stay strong.